fellow Ambazonians, sympathizers, Zonia War dependents. Once again, you are welcome to your favorite show with Comfort Convo, County Roots. Thank you once again for tuning in, and please do share. Invite someone to share so widely the entire world watch, because all eyes are on us. Yes, and this will be as on us. And moreover, phones, what we want to tell, well, what we especially into and viruses plea or appeal that people should drop their weapons for some moment, or should carry out some ceasefire or whatever they call it. But stay tuned, invite someone, share, and let's see where this day takes us to. So here tonight, I am honored with powerful comrades of AMBA. I have with me all the way from Austria, the HSS representative for prisoners, Sister Rachel. Sister Rachel, you are welcome to County Roots.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Good evening, ABC TV. Good evening, ABC TV viewers. And special thank you to Sister Comfort for this very wonderful program each week. And I want to thank the wonderful panel that we have today. I thank everyone, the ones that are already out there waiting to listen to this wonderful program and the powerful message of today. And I wish everyone all the best and a healthy end. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you once again for accepting our invitation. And this takes us all to Scandinavia, where we have one of our handsome priests in the house, none else but our own comrade Walters Fondo. Comrade, you are very welcome.
Thank you very much, Comfort. I want to acknowledge the presence of all the panelists and also the host for the program, County Route, which has always been the platform for enlightenment and empowering our comrades, especially within the past and present reality of the revolution. Currently, I feel the delicious sense of pleasure to be among the panel, and I feel that today we are going to be labor words and unravel issues for collective courtesy. Once more, thank you very much, and I'm glad to have me here.
You are very welcome. Thank you, comrade, and it's a pleasure having you on this platform. And we are moving all the way from Austria to the Scandinavia and now to Germany, where beauty with brains, none else but our own Yaya Odette. Doc, you want to count you. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much, Sister Comfort. I just love the name Comfort. That's like a brand. And I'm very honored to be on this platform with my able brother and sister, and especially to be connected to Ground Zero. So we hope we're going to have an exciting time where we can learn and exchange whatever information that we have to share. Thanks for having me on board.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, before we go, I'd like to do our traditional thing. So we'll start County Roots by observing a minute of silence in honor of our fallen heroes, during which we equally call our brothers who are suffering in the jails or in the dragnet of La République du Cameroon, our IDPs, our refugees. So I will give the honor to our comrade Walters, to actually coordinate the observance of a minute of silence in honor of our people. both the fallen heroes and those who are living in oppression back at home and in Nigeria. Thank you, Comrade Walters.
Fellow Ambazonians, my dear fellow panelists, at this moment, let's maintain a moment of silence in honor of our heroes and heroines, as well as the entire southern Cameroon. May the gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Amen.
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 Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And I will equally like to feel embarrassed because we're all Ambazonians, we're ready, we're at war, you're ready to do anything at any time. I am actually calling on our sister, Dr. Yaya, to sing the national anthem for us. Thank you.
Oh, wow, what an honor. So can I ask everyone to stand up, those who can, and place your right hand. For the purpose of the camera, I don't want to displace myself, but I should be standing up, respecting the anthem. And please sing along with me with your right hand across your chest and your left chest. And really thinking about these words. Hail, hail, hail this land of glory. We the Ambazonians pledge our loyalty. Praise the Son, our Savior, who granted us the freedom. Allegiance to the heroes who bore the land with their blood. Glory to glory. We rise and never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation.
Oh, wow, wow. Thank you very much, dear sister and comrade. Thank you for singing the anthem for our fellow Ambazonians. Thank you, Ambazonians, for appreciating Dr. Yaya for doing the great job of singing this anthem. And I want to equally use this opportunity once again to just thank you to our people. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, part of the Ambazonian War of Independence. Thank you, all you are. Thank you to our restoration forces, to the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Thank you to our IPPs for being brave. Thank you, thank you, thank you for our refugees for being there for us. Your resistance is what is keeping us going, and we are going. Our hands are already on the plow. We are not looking forward. We are moving forward because you are actually pushing us from the back, and we will move on and on and on and on till we go there. So all all over the world, wherever you are, those of us who are stuck in the diaspora because we can't go home of the criminal who is there to dine on our lives. We hope the way to be a very long, no matter what route, what direction we take, heading not homeland shall see us. So that said, thank you once again. Thank you, dear panel members. And this takes us, we have a point discussion today, fellow Amazonians and dear televiewers. We are going to, first of all, have a look at the speech of our president, His Excellency Dr. Sako Ikome Samuel. And then we are equally going to look at the humanitarian situation in the prisons as we see our sister Rachel sitting right here, ready to deliver, and we are equally going to look at that little invisible enemy who is ravaging the whole world in the name of coronavirus. So that said, I would just like to get going by now. So I'm giving the microphone to Sister Rachel. After listening to our President, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sako in a couple of days, or 2 days ago, what you just a comment get speech was so special to you? A small overview before we go down to touch on the key points, to actually digest the key points together with our fellow comrades and televiewers. So, Sister Rachel, just a comment. What were the things that you picked from the speech that were of interest to you and would like to share with fellow panelists and the rest of the televiewers?
Thank you very much, Sister Comfort. The president's speech was very pregnant. I can say it is a very timeless speech, pregnant and full of information, those we are already aware of, and the ones we could not remember. In the divine wisdom, he was able to point them out to us, calling to our Amazonians, calling to the international community. Everyone is running up and down because of the pandemic of the coronavirus. He pinpointed the fact that before coronavirus, we already had a virus, the genocide that is going on. He reminded us Amazonians and the world at large to look at this particular issue, that even corona may be gone tomorrow, and what next? He reminded the world that this pandemic could come to an end because there is a platform where our enemy, La République du Cameroon, could go and sit and discuss so that the pandemic, the virus that was already happening in Amazonia, it could be settled. That is the Swiss-led talk. And he just encouraged each and every one of us how we could go further to help support what is already eating us up, that we shouldn't relent. And he made us, yeah.
Yes, thank you, sister. I'm just wondering, I'm just like, wow, because big Amazonian men and women with big brains. So if we were just left on giving you just giving a synopsis of what the president said, then it's already ended, because like he has said virtually everything. This is just so powerful and wonderful. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for reminding us that our president said that we're always wanting to throw more light and throw more light and throw more light to make it brighter, but it sinks deeper and deeper and deeper. So from the president's speech that is so striking that you would like to share with fellow Amazonians? Thank you.
I think that from what I understood, it seems as if everybody that were expecting the president to come and address the nation were actually satisfied with his explicit, resulting from the fact that he is someone with a high degree of magnanimity, with an unsurmountable degree of communal life and self-honor. For this regard, he seems as if his ideas are always inspiring. So he did mention about the pandemic, which everyone seems to be in fear, which has been wrongly received and badly understood. People were encouraged. He went further, actually, also to remind the United Nations that ceasefire actually is not a problem. Besides, we could not even be the accused or the accuser as far as the war is concerned. We are just defending ourselves. Those responsible, especially the President of the Republic du Cameroon, Dr. Professor Bimvondo Pobia Bartholomew Abu Bakari, who arrived Simaleng Airport on November 30th and declared war on the peaceful people. He wanted to make them to understand that this is a country with a well-defined territorial boundaries. So it was another aggression, which, the Second World War was as a matter of international aggression, which is just happening now. So it was very clear that the ceasefire will be preceded as a result of a third party, and that is the Swiss-led talk. And beside that, we will need a standing army that will look into the peace and security of the peaceful people of Southern Cameroon. You remember that when we went out with peace plan, those vampires, or what we call cantankerous people, came down on us like wild beasts. And this is telling us that how can we be confident in this kind of people?
Yes.
How can we trust
Yes.
them? So we just have to
Comrade,
defend ourselves.
thank you, thank you. I would like you to hold it there for now, because we are only warming up. We need to go deep down to the crux of the whole thing, because we want to get it really digested. And before I move on, or before we go ahead, please, I am calling on my dear panelists. We are four of us. We represent at least 4 local government areas out of the 6 numbers. Speak a lot of languages. You would want to express, especially what you find very, very important. You would want to use it in the most simple language that Mama and Papa they will understand. If there's something you want to take right home to your own Mama and Papa them in your village, you are free to say that in your local language. It is allowed on roots, because our essence here is to penetrate deep down the roots. So I'm going to be very like or whatever we know the languages. Let's use them to our people. So that said, Dr. Yaya, I think you equally have an observation to make before we go down to tearing it into bits and pieces. Thank you.
Thank you once more, able host, Comfort Comfort, and greetings to Ground Zero. Yes, the president's speech, the highlights that I could pick. Interesting enough, he made some comparison between the current pandemic, the COVID-19, and the genocide which is actually taking place in Cameroon, or on our people in the southern Cameroon. That was quite interesting. Well, we're still going to come into the details. And I think the other thing he made mention of is the fact that we are already an endangered species, if we could put it that way, and that people might take the COVID-19 infection for granted, because we have already other challenges to deal with. And that's the danger. So we have a duty to actually inform, educate, and sensitize our people to take this very seriously, because if this, God forbid, were to hit us, then it would do so really badly. And the enemy is actually waiting for that opportunity and to take advantage and actually eliminate us. But by the grace of God, this will not come to pass. And the president, of course, also talked about the ceasefire and with specific conditions. And I think people have gotten the message a bit wrongly, but we'll have time to explain in details. We all want an end to this war. Nobody wants our people to keep on suffering. So the other thing he did make mention of is the fact that all our citizens in the dungeons of Yaoundé and Douala and all the prisons should be released. And he put that forth as a sign of goodwill that should be coming from neighboring Paul Biya or French Cameroon, and also as a humanitarian act that we have seen across the globe, from different countries, especially Iran. And I think one other very resounding highlight was the fact that the president called for collaboration. He did reach out to our brothers and sisters and asking them for genuine collaboration, and a lot more things we can talk about. But one most important one at the end of this all was the message of hope. He encouraged our ground forces, our Amazonian restoration forces, and thanked them for the good work they're doing, and also encouraged them not to be fooled by the petty little gifts that they might have to trade that for our freedom. And last but not the least, he did emphasize on the need for us to support our restoration forces to do this honorable job that they do for us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, fellow comrades and dear panelists. Thank you so much for reminding us again in bits what our presidents just took out to both Amazonians and the a couple of days ago, and I think that I equally listened to him. I read the speech, and I think I have one or two things to chip in as well. Something really struck me, and it keeps re-echoing to my mind, was when he said, "Only healthy people can fight for themselves, can defend themselves." This is really important. I think we are going to look at this names of this show, which is going to be coronavirus, because it has a relationship to that. And this actually called in mind my voice. Each time I think about this, only healthy people can fight and defend themselves. I think not about my boys, but our men and women, the Ambazonia Restoration Forces, who have stood up to fight and homeland. And equally, he said that he announced that it's going in a few days to come. There's going to be an interurban city movement restriction in order to end this little visible that overwhelming the entire world. So that said, I am going to read an excerpt of the speech of our president, Dr. Samuel Komisako, which says the interim government and Team Ambazonia are ready to negotiate a ceasefire within a negotiated settlement. We cannot unilaterally declare a ceasefire when Cameroon military are still all over our territory, hunting our defenseless populations. What does this mean? Because he says the very first thing, before I go to this and before you actually dwell on it, I've had people appreciating and telling me, so, oh, thank you, yes, they don't share. So you want to take time like before, please. Present it in such a nice and sweet, simple way that Mama and Papa, they will understand. Every brother and sister will understand. What does this mean? When Dr. Sako says the interim government and act are ready for ceasefire, if you just end here, you think that, okay, ceasefire, they take place. So what he mean here by saying, Comrade Waters, you may go first, please.
Oh, yeah. I think the whole concept there is based on unilateral ceasefire, based on the fact that we are expecting at least a third party that will act as a mediation within that period of ceasefire. In that case, we need a body that will take care of our security while we go further with the negotiation. But again, there is a very deeper meaning as to why this statement came up. The issue was not only based on that ceasefire. Why is there ceasefire now? There is something much more bigger that I feel that there is a need for also to look at it, which has pushed us to this particular state of ceasefire. So for this matter, I feel that I want to emphasize here that the second declaration of war seems to be a kind of natural phenomenon that is coming up now that has held the attention of the world. And looking at the current crisis back there, it's conflicting with a lot of issues, which I will want to understand that this matter has actually been a deep concern, which I look at it as a divine intervention. So maybe I would like to listen also to the other panelists before I come in again to expand on my points.
All right. This now. All right. Thank you so much, Comrade Waters. While you take a deep breath and take a drink and wait for a second go, fan on your points, I will hand over the microphone to Dr. Yaya. I want to make you tell Mama and Papa them once again. We, the intergovernment, through when say, be ready for ceasefire. But also, me with boy, young men and women, they make them put their stick them down. Wait until me coronavirus pass. The president say I will not be here. However, me and Team ACT, we the interim government and Ambazonia coalition team, will be ready for do this one, but on condition. So you try to explain for Mama and Papa them that condition and wait a minute for the condition.
Thank you, my sister. I think before I even go into detail, I just want to explain, say, with this problem we done with this virus, with this sick way there around the world, where they cause all man for the fear and for good reason. It don't make, say, United Nations, their big man, their Secretary General, we name him Mr. Guterres. He proposed any place where unrest there for this ground, where people then try for solve the problem, drop their arms, and make peace. Just like any human situation, when we get trouble for inside family, or when we fear die or somebody can die, all man they think about yourself, you check your conscience. So he do this as a general proposal for all parts of the world, and particularly for one place, he talks about so make we drop down with arms. But that word, the word really a problem, baby. Now that word unilateral. Unilateral means we go drop them regardless. And for the way we president we talk very clearly. So we appreciate. I mean, we understand. We feel the suffering for when for back for home. So we really want this war stop. So I think they want mean when he talks about this. So we welcome the ceasefire, but means a condition there, and the condition I say we will solve on for a place where we get a third party in the international world, because the problem will get them not be an internal issue. We will first be two independent entities will be agree say we will come together without some marriage certificate. I would not come one man beat another one, beat and kill them, and the other person don't lost the own role for inside that relationship. And that other person don't talk say, I know still one day for this marriage, I want to come out in Jumba marriage anyway. So President talking ceasefire and fighting because he appreciates this would suffer. But it will happen now for the right platform. And we will get international reform because they will be part of this problem, or they understand the root of this problem. And when the president also talk, when he talk about with the ACT means ACT, Amazonian Coalition Team. This one they also showing us so this president or this government be out for work in collaboration with other groups with a day for the restoration or the recognition of the country as president enough for president for that speak. So we still see that opportunity so they can work together. So that actually be made of other you get Morris, you get SCYL, So two messages in there for here when we are taken out. One, president understand the suffering of the people and we don't want medicine for long, but we not give up will not go throw with arms when the other party, first of all, no one come on the table. And this peace mediation, it gets to be settled according to international standards. And these things, they get a process and they go through as experts then. And it not be the interim government, they invite all of Ambazonians, they will be of goodwill, they want to come join this acting, where we face this together. So yes, we want ceasefire, but on condition, say La Republique go follow, it go follow the international rules and do this on an international platform, and the Swiss talks them. But already this foundation where they don't lay them. So the pressure then on La Republique. Amazonia talks say yes, we'll be ready. Now the international world, as President talk, but they now need to tell Mr. Bia and the French people that are supporting to make them come on that table, make we do things the way we do business internationally. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. for an easy consumption of our people back at home. Sister Rachel, if we were linked to both and comrades, they are saying that in reaction to Dr. Antonio Guterres' call or appeal to the warring countries to cease fire, drop their momentum, it's not an idea. That is the stance of our interim government. It sounds good. How, like Dr. Yaya talks, say, when they fight, if I say me they go the fight or stop the fight or something, but how I think so with president or with president when I'm interim government and the messenger for 8 million Amazonians, it mean for if I understand say it talks say even though we see the need, because only a healthy people now you feel only be, now when you be healthy and you strong, when you feel be able to stand up to fight your enemy. Sister Rachel, you think say this time around you not think say make sense rather say maybe then drop the thing just for a short time, fight this sickness first, put them for corner before they will take you back with God again, go ahead. Does that make sense? That one can help. You think because I saw some people then think say maybe the photo say okay move just first wait they was sick then put them down and then me coronavirus pass before we go pick them again. You think say that one can be a solution if he really
Thank you, Sister Comfort, for this fine question. When person is sick, he not fit do anything. Even now, so where the war there for Amazonia, now sick that already. We don't dey sick since. For say me this coronavirus still can add. Who know time where the coronavirus go finish? Some person don't know the time where the coronavirus go first finish. Then when that one way it don't kill people, they even for women country, when at the way they say they get all the kind medication, the way they feel cure sickness, they still struggle. People that they die in their hundreds every day. Then how some person go fit think say more for wait, the coronavirus don't can kill first finish. Then we'll go back for war. Who be that healthy person where it go remain for fight? Now the thing that way our President Sarkozy already talk say, he find say me the first greed that ceasefire first. If na me, where I be president for La Republique, Paul Biya, I go see and say, even this sick way it don't come. It dey hold everybody. If you hold yourself, if you hold your family, if you hold your pikin, if you hold even people then for La Republique too, then if we wait say make that sick first can finish with, now which time we'll go talk peace. So before say that sick way it already wipe people now. Secretary General Mr. Guterres no way to wait the talk. They say obedience is better than sacrifice. Now time this for Mr. Bia for hear this call for go stop this ceasefire, because I believe say our interim government, Ambazonians, they be ready anytime. Don't go for Swiss talk. They don't go to wait for them. Me, Mr. Bia come. Make them too they come or talk. Make they come or talk. Then now when some other war don't come add again. Neither the beg them say, okay, may una come, may first stop this war. Because inside this war, plenty people that already died. This second war come again. In short, check what medical condition. Who go remain? For Italy, just for come here, how many people that they die every day? About 1,000 people. This one they send now people the way they stay for house 2, 3. See we for Amazonia, more than 50 people for one house. Now we people they're there for bush, people they're there for all kind places. Prisoners are there 200 for 50 square meters. If we not just think and say coronavirus, can who go remain healthy for even turn fight the war? So before President Sarkozy call, any reasonable, right-thinking human being get to know say he must cease fire. And Amazonia, as President Sarkozy talk, and even this speech, on my way they understand, go know say, may them go to for their house. Because the international call now say, may everybody withdraw. Go for lock up. Go for your house. Okay, you that soldier where you the fight now, so who say you keep your family? Maybe you go lock up, you distance yourself, so automatically ceasefire get to take place, make them get to withdraw, then send a small group where go meet up Amazonia and the way that they wait them for Swiss talk. May we talk, make this first war finish, then before the other one where they kill anyhow, any juicy person, even Prince Charles don't get the sick. So who free? So by the time where they say may we take ceasefire, may some person not feel say na because say Amazonia then they don't weak, they don't tire, they not be serious for that thing. Now the reason that way they don't decry say may they can't go ceasefire. Not be the reason that it's because we get human heart. We get the human mind.
Okay, sis. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rachel. I think I have another way of looking at this too, because like Dr. Yaya said, and like to add to what you all are saying, I think because and Guterres is equally a stakeholder to this mess we are in, because they know, this at what I understand from our president is that the call for ceasefire now sounds like what we have been calling cosmetic solutions, because this is a genuine problem going on for ages. I will just wake up one morning, take an opportunity from that is to any time. I think with that, it still goes back to what we ambassadors have been saying. Root of this problem addressed. This is not a problem to be solved in a. This is not something that we just wake up one morning, tomorrow morning, and just say the war is over. How it's going to be. There are no two ways of doing this, and that's why our president say, Antonio, no, you don't go home. Go home. Go see Paul Biya face to face. Come back. You don't bring anything apart from the little golden sculpture where they see born with heart racing, because that thing is still plenty. He cannot speak much on behalf. So with government and with other leaders and for Amazonia coalition team, they talk say yes, this ceasefire and a fighting, but we must make negotiations. We not figure woke up one morning we talk to me so ceasefire. First of all, will not be Cold War. People they be Cold War on us. On the 10th of November 2017, where we not forget. Make back, even that stand back for that place, wherever it stand, it call for ceasefire. Then do the right thing. Withdraw all the forces them from Amazonia, and secondly, make the United Nations deploy the peacekeeping forces, and then finally, make everybody meet up for Switzerland. Make we treating all and all separate in peace, because we don't stay in Jumba for over half a century. Nothing not come out for inside. You know, if you get guy beat you all your life, you know what pay mommy and papa, they don't know you, they still suffer for under eating for your whole life. We need to go, and we cannot go in a rush. We need to go and go quickly, because will be a country where will be recognized by the international community. I would like for add for the not be panelists, but this one is important information. I will just say I want for add one or two things too before we move on. That said, Comrade Walter, did you say you had one thing to add, or would you like us to move on, please?
No, I think that the panelists have actually raised their voices in an unmistakable chorus, and we have belabored the point sufficiently, which I feel that the idea is quite enough. So maybe we can proceed, and we can come in again with other facts as we go ahead.
All right. So I would like to be part of this president's analysis of at this point and move some other thing before we come back again to this. So at this give room to you, Sister Rachel. You are the coordinator. Yes, please.
Sorry,
Yes.
can I just add something on that point, which is very important? Sorry, just to clarify, when my understanding, when the president says you cannot fight if you are not good health,
Yes.
I don't think he is saying that we must have a ceasefire before we fight. My understanding is, yes, we already have a problem bigger than or as big as this COVID-19. And our people who are already in a very deplorable state can say, I don't care about this thing. I'm already, dead, So what he's really saying is, please pay attention. We don't want you to be living in fear, but you must acknowledge the seriousness of this problem, because the position of Ambazonia in terms of the geopolitics makes us very vulnerable, so that it makes us in such a way that if, I don't know if I'm the one, am I echoing? Yeah. In such a way that if, God forbid, and I believe this will not be the case, if we are affected by this on top of the problems that we already have, then the outcome is going to be really bad. And so what he's saying is, he's not putting one as a condition of to the other. We must not have ceasefire before we, I don't know. I think the point I'm trying to make here, maybe I'll talk for Pigeon. President, he talked about different things at different times. In one talk where he talked about this COVID thing, first comparing to the sickness when at Paul Biya, where the world be the ignorant. And interestingly, the world now they follow all the methods the way Ambazonia be used before since 2016, where the world condemn, we say will not be responsible. We lock down schools, they say it not be responsible, including our own people. But today, now them be the first people who will go rush, move their picking from schools. So we see the dishonesty and hypocrisy where it happened. And then the second strategy we would see using for this COVID now, stay at home, don't go out, which is, it kind of be fun to compare the two, but there is some comparison there. So somehow,
yes.
Yeah, so Comrade Waters, it is we cannot really say it's a blessing. It's a serious problem, but maybe spiritually there's a message through this disease, because the world ignored this, including our own people, who saw the suffering of our people. We not grieve or accept them. But now, because it come now from white man, sorry for say, all of a sudden those measures will be good. Don't send your kids to school, which is what we are all doing now. It'd be very good. Stay home and don't go out, even to get fresh air is good. So the point here, what driver mean, Ambazonians get to be honest, or the world has to be honest. Don't just criticize a measure. Nobody is ever happy not to send their kids to school. They did not send their kids to school because the lives of those children were endangered. Even there was no guarantee of a child going and actually reaching the class. So look at the root cause and deal with that, not just criticize on things. So now, number one, that we present, compare these two things. And the world can say he actually endorsed what Ambazonia don't do. Number two, again, I still want to try to explain this thing. When president said health, if you don't get good health, you know you fight. And that's true. If I is sick, how he fight? So what did the talk now say? Make just take this thing for backhand, just talk say, oh, it don't really matter. Because if we do and so, La Republic actually the find ways for actually infect the people then. Imagine if this thing can't reach the restoration forces. So he talks say, whilst we get another serious problem, make we be conscious of this. I'm going to take it very seriously because God people protect. We say this will not be fun, but more not say we enemy. They wait for every opportunity for use that to wipe we out. So one of the things that we know say, make we not accept any foreigners. And as he talk in the next coming days, when they don't assess the situation, maybe we will get locked down of all with borders. Like every country don't do one. Flights and then come off from England to go to Germany and so on and so forth. While our Republic never block your own borders. Those are not things and that will be see. So in terms they say, maybe people they cross and then they cross infect each other. They will not get even means for tests because even for here for white man country test no they mask they be short, you know. So we not even wait for say this thing happen for we. So the best method really na prevention. So when the president is simply talk and say, make it seriously, no, make it not bring panic, but more are not taken for granted because the enemy want use that to wipe away. Thank you.
Yes. Brief. Thank you very much. This point again, because just brief, wait away with President. Yeah, it tell. I was leaving this point because we are going to take it when we are discussing coronavirus. That is when it to bring out its real sense. In this sentence, just that, for example, our Ambazonia restoration forces should stay safe because they can only fight when they are healthy. But then let's again they are looking at coronavirus. So that said, I would really like to give a fellow Ambazonians and dear televiewers, please, as you join in, share. You are watching County Roads with Comfort Comfort, and on board with me, I have Dr. Yaya Odette. I have Sister Rachel from Austria. I have a comrade Walters Fondo. So we are discussing. We're looking at the speech of the president, and we're discussing on the issue of ceasefire as proposed by Antonio Guterres. When our president says it sounds good, it is not thing to follow a due procedure. That said, we all know because we see what is happening every day. It's about I reported that of our people were arrested, picked up, abducted, and to the to Cameroon. And on this same day, the BBC read in front of me that the United States contemplating to let loose to set their prisoners free so that they can fight coronavirus. That is how bad it is. So the humanity condition, as bad is with our IDPs, as bad as is with refugees, it's worse for prison. So we just want to give a time and to actually you have been explain. Actually, tell all what is your responsibility again? Because we have forgotten. I think you are in charge of the prisons, right? You are the HSS representative taking care of the prisoners. So we would like you to tell us, if you can tell us maybe approximately how many prisoners or how many people of ours are suffering under the Cameroon. What are the things that they go through? What are the kind of challenges, the difficulties that they have out there? What are your source of revenue or whatever support that you take to? And okay, let's start from there. Just tell us. And then what are if challenge person as the person connecting with? Just tell us as much as you can, and we will ask as many questions as we want to because we want to really, really understand. And that said, please, the mistake is still mine. I had in mind that we were going to display the HSS payment platform here so that someone can really support us because for the past weeks, since last week that I hosted the HSS team here, my heart was really heavy. And I just feel like we need to support HSS. We need to support our people. Our people are really, really, really in need. And only we can put a smile on their face. So, Sister, please.
Thank you very much, Sister Comfort. This is I am honored. I'm very happy to be here. Pleased to share the information. I wish and I really hope that people on Ground Zero people in the diaspora, Ambazonians, and friends of Ambazonians, sympathizers of Ambazonians. I plead that they listen to me and they get the little one that I will just have to say, because HSS will be coming out often and they will soon come out in a very big way to really present what HSS, the Health and Social Services in the interim government of Ambazonia. It is a very big responsibility since 2016. It's been a very, very big responsibility that many people have just taken it by the wave of hand. And I would like to start from the bottom. Please, people should get ready where you can donate for the HSS before I start lishing out what it means, or for us to understand. For those who have their pen, they could write. For those who are in Europe, their PayPal will be for you, Hope Relief Foundation at gmail.com. I will go on and narrate what it is. HSS, after the defense, it should be the Health and Social Services, because when the villages are burnt, people are displaced. People are in the bushes. People rush to different cities. We have IDP camps. We rush towards the IDPs. When the war started, since in 2016, some of our brothers and sisters were picked indiscriminately on the streets of Ambazonia or anywhere that they were, and dumped into many prisons in and outside French Cameroon. Those are now become the Ambazonian detainees. And when the war proceeded, the refugee crisis came on. People started leaving their villages when they were being shot, villages being burnt down. People did not have where to go. Some people who never ever thought they could leave their motherland had to trek into forests, through forests, and looking for where they could even have an escape. Some found themselves in Nigeria, some found themselves in Ghana. You will be asking yourself, who do you know in Nigeria? How do you live in Nigeria? Where do you go to say, I beg for salt, may I cook this small rice? Where are your belongings? No?
Hello, hello, can you hear me, please? Yeah, I'm sorry for this rude intervention. Before we go ahead, I would like you to first of all say, what part of the HSS do you represent? What are you in charge of?
Yeah, I am in charge of the prisons.
We want to have a deep picture, a great, well-paid picture of what these people. So if you could concentrate just on the us, you know, since Ambazonians maybe know that we have our brothers and sisters out there, because if you don't them not move, tell them exactly what our people are going through inside those places and what are your challenges.
I am coming to that, because when we talk of the HSS, people just think that it is just a bypassing street that you just overlook it. No, this is the whole responsibility I am about to talk before I come to where I know I can say I have what to say that will touch many of us. I know that many people, many of us Ambazonians, we say, I have contacts in prison, they call me every day. But if you are not that person that they woke you up at midnight, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to tell you that this is happening, you may not understand. Okay, we have prisons. The major prisons that everybody knows is just Kundengi prison. This is what most of us will know. But when you come to it, we have Kundengi Central and Principal Prison. Kundengi Central Prison is a prison that was built just to keep about 800 persons But if you go in there, you have 6,000 to 7,000 persons in there. And the sections, the way they divide them, our people are being kept. If they describe, it's unfortunate we can't have some of the pictures to say this is where our people do sleep. But I believe we'll be having some pictures as they are piled up as sardines. In one small room, we have about 50 people. If we say a small room, somebody may be thinking it's a big space. These people are sick. We have the Kondegi Central Prison, we have the Kondegi Principal Prison, and we have our people in there. We have the New Bear Prison in Yaoundé, in New Bear Prison in Douala, I beg your pardon. We have the said prisons in Yaoundé. And we have other small prisons around Yaoundé, the Mfu prisons, the Mbamayo prisons. You go a little bit up north, you have the Yoko prisons, where they have put our people there.
Okay.
And sometimes it is very, very, you cannot even reach there. You have to do all the gymnastics, some of the things that we cannot say how we do to get there. But by the grace of God, God is doing it. So you come, you have our people also in Boya prison, you have our people in Bafoussam prison, you have our people in Bamenda prison, and in other small prisons like Campbell prisons, Manfe prison, and all those things. And in very, very difficult, precarious conditions. Very, very precarious conditions that you will ask yourself, we are even talking of coronavirus, where do they even have the flow of water to even first of all wash their hands? For the past 2 weeks, there haven't been water flow in Boya prison. And we have almost 500 of our people in there. It was just 3 weeks ago, 4 days back that they brought 10 other people to come and join the 480 that were already there. And you begin to ask yourself, 480 people, how do they live? Who feeds them? The brother was telling me they have to pound ground kanda plantain. They cook it, they pound it so that they could make soup like groundnuts. It's so inaccessible. You bring anything for them, it's difficult. I don't know. It is very sad. It is a bad situation where I am calling on every Ambazonia that if you hear that HSS is calling on you to tip in whatever to help these young men and women within the walls of Ambazonia, please do. Because sometimes you will ask me why I say this, because I talk with many people who do tell me, I gave my money to this foundation, I gave my money to this foundation to do something in the prison. I don't know if they reach the people. It is a pity to say, I will ask in there, did this person come? Did you see this person? Did you receive anything? They will tell me it never got to us. If HSS is coming out here or I am coming out here to come and cry, is to let Ambazonians know that their brothers and sisters are languishing inside within the prison walls, wherever they are. Those in Ambazonia land and those within the walls in French Cameroon. They are tight. They sleep on the floor on each other. Is inaccessible. That is, there is a vulnerable group, first of all. There is some group that have made themselves lords. Where some people will say, I see them in prison, they enjoy, they live their life. Those ones that have made themselves lords. Some have even become supermarket owners within the prison walls. Some have even become joint owners. But 80%, 90%, yes.
I would like to know, are there women or in those Amazonian boys and girls, women in those prisons and cells and whatever you call them, those dungeons? Have we got women
Yeah,
in
we
those
we
women who
have
are
women.
prisoners of war?
We have women because there are times reports do reach us that the woman that was brought, the sister that was brought along a new set of people that are in prison, those sisters were accused of the ones cooking food and bringing
Okay.
to our soldiers. Yeah, those ones. So they are in there. You know,
Okay.
they say a cockroach cannot be innocent in the gathering of fowls. So by the time they have already arrested you and they make you to be that you were the one cooking food, you are one of them, their wives or whatever, they have already brought you to their dungeon. It is no longer their responsibility. They don't think if you like a woman, what do you do with your menstrual cycle? If you have a
That is it.
toothbrush, if you have a toothpaste, if you even have the basic needs, hygienic needs, this is where we are appealing to all Amazonians, especially the women, to start thinking, how are the sisters in the dungeons doing? Sometimes a handful of us, we will get this money, we send to them, we share in the various prisons. How do they change their undies? Even the
So,
men, if
Sister,
you see some, yeah,
yeah, okay, carry on, please. Just say the last thing you wanted to say, then I'll ask.
even the men, some of them, how often do you even change your own boxers? Some of them, I can't remember the last time they even had the possibility to change their own boxers. And
Okay.
then the fact that they have to buy water. Where do we get this money? A handful of people are trying from the LGS, from the county to do something, but it is not enough. It's not enough. I can say it and say it again. It is not enough. We are appealing to every Ambazonian who has the opportunity to have 3 square meals a day to remember these ones, because they were the first rubber gun boys. They were the first rubber gun boys are still inside there. And the ones that have joined them since, there are some people in there since 2016. Nobody has passed to ask them that, hello, what are you doing here? I am your auntie. I am your cousin.
No,
They
because
have fled
I know.
and become refugees. They have fled and they are living in the bushes. Some of them do not even know where their relatives, their wives, their own children are. It is a very, very pathetic situation where it just needs, it doesn't need even common sense or common knowledge. But if you have a heart, you would think,
Yes.
where do you go and beg for salt? There is no,
All right.
when we used to see, yeah.
So, yeah, this is so, that when I get worked up and I start to not behave well, I'm so impatient. But what do I want to say? Because I feel like, it's listening to this, I have headache. I feel so bad. I'm just like, should I even just go and join them and be staying with them there? What should I start from? I don't know how you listening to this feel, you know, just do something. However, I want to give room to the rest of the panelists, if Sister Rachel would permit. Dr. Yaya, how does it feel? What do you have a comment to make about the presentation that our sister has just made about the people who are living in the dungeons out there at their ordeal?
Yeah, it's very distraughting. I mean, it's sometimes you don't know the words to use, and I want to thank Sister Rachel for this wonderful job that she's doing, and particularly extend our words of, I don't know, encouragement, Ashia, courage to all of people who are unjustly, incarcerated in those terrible places you call prisons, where people are packed in such inhumane conditions. It's horrible listening to this, but that's the reality. We can talk about what is going on till the cows come home, but what will change the game is only when we dig deep into our pocket and contribute to help. And one thing that also came out from the president's speech was the fact that he mentioned this and reiterated that asking Mr. Biya to free all, the unjust prisoners, our people, our citizens, our brothers and sisters who have been locked up unjustly. He should do this, first of all, as part of the worldwide campaign to curb the transmission of diseases. If we listen to what Sister Rachel said, people live, when we talk about social distancing, how can that really be possible in a prison where people are sleeping on each other? So pretty much, it is equal to death. We don't want to think about these things. So one of the ways to really stop this is to free them. First of all, they were put there unjustly. They've not been tried, or many or most of them have not been tried. So we see that empathy coming again from this president, thinking about our people in prison and insisting on Mr. Biya that this is a subtle precondition, if we may say, to actually getting on the negotiation table. He has to free our prisoners. Yeah. So all I can just do is add to what Sister Rachel is saying, that we can say these stories, we can write about them. If we don't put our hands in our pockets and feel the pain to contribute and not have some excesses for ourselves, it will not change anything. We all live here, we have different realities. I'm not saying we don't have difficulties, but we don't lack food. And believe me, $5 or €5 or £5 that you will spare a month. I'm talking about a month. Things that you can use to I don't know, have coffee. If you just put this to help, that will buy food, it will buy water, it will buy pads, it will help these people. So please think about your brothers, be each other's keeper. And that's one of the things that the president mentioned, and actually created a task force which will be headed by the vice president. Ambazonia, be the keeper of each other, something like that. So please, let's help. Let's reach out to those people. Thank
you. Okay, thank you. Comrade, would you like to comment as well on the report presentation that's Mr.
The HSS and Comrade Rochelle seem to have carried out a very important task, especially to map out some of those hidden detention centers, which cross-section of the Southern Cameroonians were not informed. I think that they have even gone as far as to identify some of the people, especially the genesis of this struggle, where we began with mouth, with stones, with rubber guns, to name just this. Those were the very early brave soldiers of Ambazonians who were picked up to an unknown destination. But today, I think that we are privileged to actually listen to Comrade Rochelle, how some of those detention centers are scattered in the different areas in the Republic of the French Cameroon, and also some of them in Ambazonia land. But then what is more important here is that at this particular moment, this is where we have to actually expose international conspiracy. Because if the Secretary General Guterres emphasized about ceasefire, he should know that there is a very big harm, even more than the war physically that we're fighting. In Iran, most of the detainees have been released because they know the consequences. If one simple or a slightest person carries the virus into the cell, one of the issues of fighting against it is to make sure that people are not close to each other. But from the findings of the HSS, as Comrade Ruchel has explicit, people sleep on each other. So they are not only close, but they sleep on each other, which therefore implies that just passing behind the fence or behind the walls of those detention centers, you will eradicate all those people. At this moment, if they are serious, that's why I said this disease is coming as a mixed blessing. This is the first time I've heard from the Secretary General identifying Southern Cameroon. He could not have spoken about ceasefire. Ceasefire from where? Out of nothing, nothing comes.
Yes.
And if something is, then the thing was. Which means that he's now identifying that Southern Cameroon, there is a problem there. Are you only just saying so that they should cease fire? Where were you from from all this while? However, it is good that something has come to remind you. So I was talking about this mixed blessing was based on these facts. So consequently, you see what is going on is that it is our duty to be conscious that in order for us to help the situation, especially at this moment, that the second war, which is more dangerous, is coming, I will plead with everybody to add my voice to that of Comrade Ruchel that, look, I feel that nobody is safe in the world, but there are some people who are in freedom. Trust me, no matter the prison that you are inside, even you have the best bed, you have the best catering, you have the best visitor, you can never be satisfied if you are not free.
Yeah.
That's why you see when you get an animals in the forest and bring it in the zoo, no matter how you treat the animal, no matter what you give the animal is not satisfied. Because the nature of man, we were made in such a way that we were gregarious, let me say rational animals, where we have to move from one place to another, interact, social interaction. So to keep somebody on a spot is the most painful thing. In Kondagi, not all of them are in the same condition. You have honorable detention, like some of the ministers and maybe some of the directors, but they are not satisfied because that is not the value. That's not the right place to be. What about those who do not even have a comfortable place to sleep and they're sleeping on each other? So even some of us who have been in this revolution for some time, we are dazzled by these very special findings. And it tells the people out there what is happening, because we are only much concerned about certain issue, but now we are beginning to understand what is going on in the cell, and it's really our duty that I think that it has pricked us to actually forage into our coat pocket and see exactly how we can do some gesture, because we need finance more than ever before now. It's a double war that is coming, so the impact will be huge.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Comrade Waters, for adding your voice. Thank you, Sister Rachel, for the brilliant presentation and appealing to the conscience of our people. If someone can just take a look now on the comments that are coming in, and here writing in good English apparently should be an Amazonian. And if you can listen to Sister Rachel speak and you still have something negative to say, you still spend time distracting people from listening about Tata Ivo and the rest of all those things. Sorry, I'm not a name caller. I'm just trying to read what I am saying here. That is not what interests us here. Whoever you are calling here, whether good name or we are 8 million Amazonians, and all of these people we are painting color black and white are expected to play their role by taking care of these people. I always like to talk about myself. Now listen, thank God 3 of us here in the diaspora, some of these things. When you go to the shop, in the course of shopping, you pick these parts and bring you say, how do you want it funny? So you throw them. Tomorrow you go buy the other one. Our sisters are out there. They are not only, I don't know how to go about it. I don't even know what happens when they are on their period. They don't have these sanitary pads. They don't even have way to hide to wear. Ask me whether they've got these pants to wear that they sell here on pound. That is what should be preoccupying you and I now. Someone should already say, I have contributed $10 to the account of the HSS or to this foundation, that something can be done to at least one lady, if we want to say men are going to suffer, sorry, comrade Waters, they may keep their boxers on for the rest of the year till AMBA comes. Don't ask me how this lady, I'm not being mean, I'm just trying to bring out how it is, how these ladies are doing it. They may, those conditions. Just think about, I don't want to think about what they eat anymore. I just want to ask myself, what happens when they are on their period? If that means something to you, you want to stand up and start doing something, it always brings back to mind this lady, this sister who was all the way from the forest demonstrating the moss plant, What always strikes me that I will never forget her is the fact that she demonstrated with a smile on her face, So what keeps you? What keeps you from coming? That sitting here and watching us do this, you are spending your quality time. Why not learn and watch Nigeria do something to entertain yourself instead of just come here and find each other, distract people from business? It's not a walk in the park. We're not at the park. We're not barbecue out there to be cracking jokes and laughing. We're talking here about our people. All of these people are dead. How many of them will come out of this prison alive? And those who will come alive, how many of them will have life? And don't ask me, because mentally they don't have capacity anymore. And everything about them is gone. They have already paid. They have paid the ultimate price. Don't do your little. Do it by giving money. We cannot stop asking. People who want to run away from their responsibilities, they will talk about some my trip to Boy and talk and talk and talk. Let's say we really raised this 2 million that was asked for. Was it not going to be used and get more money? Did someone this money? This is just I can't put it, but I'm just saying that let someone grow up. So let someone grow up and start doing something responsible for our suffering people. Let someone do something. Yes. Rachel, you want to say something?
Yes, I would like to add, our people, even most of us, we say, I pay my allegiance to the flag. I wonder if the flag behind me or behind Comrade Waters on the table of Staya and the one behind Sister Comfort exists on its own. There are people behind this flag. Nothing exists in isolation. Those who are in prison that we are talking about today paid allegiance to this flag, and they are paying the price for you and I that are out here. So I don't know the correlation between I'm paying my allegiance to the flag. The flag is the people. The people represent the flag. And if you are paying allegiance to that flag, we have institutions. How and where are you contributing or supporting those that really need this support to grow up? We are here talking about what the president said. He spoke the mind of the Ambazonian people. It is the same thought, certainly the same thought that went through most of our minds before the president came out to speak our minds. We will not just accept ceasefire without the La République withdrawing from our land. Then that flag, we are not defending that flag. We cannot be shouting of coronavirus and sitting at home in the diaspora or as free men and women in Ambazonia without crying out what coronavirus can do to the many that are in the dungeons, in the prison because of the Ambazonian flag. And we cannot equally be saying that we are defending ourselves when we are not in our LGAs, making sure that we are contributing a dime to see that those that are standing as the forces to brace the enemy. If you say, I am defending the flag, how are you defending your flag? We are out here, please help, think of the brothers in the dungeons. They did not go there on their own accord. They went there for you and me. They went there for you and me defending the flag. So please, we are begging you, wake up from our sleep and our slumbers. Let nobody deceive you. The war is real. As people are running away from coronavirus, it's the same way people who are on ground zero are running away from the war, which is also a virus, because nobody can brace a bullet. You are running and falling. It's the same thing. The whole world is running away from coronavirus. Please, my brothers and sisters, Ambazonians, wherever you are, we are not just here on ABC TV because we do not have our husband, our wives, and our children, or a good meal to cook and start eating. We are here because we want to appeal. We are appealing to remind us to remember whom we are and what has affected us. This infectious virus, that not coronavirus, but the fact that you cannot even have a space in your own homeland. Since 1961, they started fighting this war. Take a break and ask yourself a question. Does it mean we're a group of stupid people? President Sako said our mind here. We are not stupid. The heroes are not foolish. We are not mumu. Safeguard your own thing.
Yeah.
It's a basic human right.
Yes, sis.
Please.
Yeah, I understand, and I've really been, I was really trying to be a good girl today, or good mama, good whatever you want to call me, because when it strikes me, that is how I sound. I know exactly what she is going through. I'm just play this down, and I will get headache after this. Go and not wanna carry her inside and not speak her head, call it shady man, punch a person. However, Ambazonians, let's pay money and do our responsibility. So we are going to open the lines at the end of this show, so nobody should go. Please invite someone, and let the end you to contribute, to ask a question for clarification and so on. So that said, there is no way we can leave this platform without addressing an issue. You know, it's so overwhelming that there is this little invisible enemy that has attacked the entire world. I mean, the whole world is so overwhelmed that this enemy, they can't see him or her. They can only see what they are doing. I'm talking here about coronavirus. This is the virus that is overwhelming the whole world, even the most advanced countries in the world that have the most state-of-the-art facilities, health facilities. They are unable to coronavirus. And that said, you know, we need on our part to stay coronavirus free because it is endemic. So I am taking this to the area as a medical practitioner to throw more light or to add more spice to the Maggi, or to that my patient that people. Once again, Dr. Yaya, who are people that are most at risk of contracting the coronavirus?
Yeah, thank you again, sister. I want to answer this question. Maybe it will be different from most people they don't hear. Who be at risk at most? I will talk to everybody. Most of don't hear they talk say no, elderly people, them very young people, them people there they already be sick. That's not true. More don't forget say when news they go out, we get to take the news and then put them for one context for Ambazonia. We talk not to people on the ground. When one talk about the elderly, they talk about people above 65. And again, like President talked, we learn because of all this barbarism from phobia and the genocide. People not even reach how old? The average lifespan for an average Southern Cameroonian are 45 years. So we talk say, oh no, we not get old people for place. So therefore, you know, we don't need to take care. The reason I answer say everybody be at risk, and truly so, and because yes, even though some people they more they go feel sick more easily, like old mommy them or old papa them, people there they already get plenty other sick them for their lungs. People there they already get heart disease, people there they are immune system be weak already, whether not through cancer or diabetes or whatever. Those people, they be, yes, the high risk groups. But again, the young people, they fit make mistakes, they say, oh no, I don't fall for this group, so I don't need for care. But some person, they will not spread them, because the young people, and President talk and fight for his speech, because we'll be fit, we'll be young, we'll be active, we'll go for places, and then we'll say, oh no, we need to get the infection. We be carriers, we likely be carriers, but because we immune system be strong enough, it fight and will not feel, maybe the symptoms will be very mild, or they will go away, they don't really cause any harm. But we go spread them for that old mommy or old papa where he already get a weak system, and then the mommy go fall sick and he die. So everybody's at risk. We just talk about statistics, say, okay, these people, they're more, but we get people who where they transfer, and mainly young people. So everybody is supposed to take the measures. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that response. However, you don't talk, it reminds me, say, for the last presentations, the way we don't get them for ABC, AMBA TV. Other colleagues, they don't talk, say, this disease, they say, they catch the people their lungs. That thing for inside is where the high level for breathe. Before coronavirus one come, a lot of people, you have a lot of people who suffer types of lung diseases. So what is the difference between corona and those other lung diseases like COPD? I wish I be know how they call them for pigeon, or that cough, that lung disease. What is the difference?
Okay. This coronavirus, this particular one will get not just a different strain. We don't get humanity don't know different epidemics or different outbreaks for this kind of sickness before. Start not today. We don't get different kind of viruses, but we get even this corona family. Like when people remember the SARS, will be get up to 2003, where we break out again for Guangdong, for China. It will kill a lot of people. Millions of people. And then we get the other MERS coronavirus. Where it happened, I think about 2000 and I don't forget, but so we don't get these viruses coming out. This one, the point I say, it be very similar. The symptoms be similar to other viral illness, and sometimes it will be similar to what we call pneumonia, where we due to bacteria. Most often, people will get fever. When you get an infection, you get fever, and one of the signs, you get cough, you get breathing difficulties, where you need to breathe fine. Those are the three cardinal symptoms that you get uncommonly. But again, you get this for so many different things. So it makes it difficult. Means anymore we get these symptoms, automatically get a coronavirus. But because there's something where it kill and it be highly infectious, one try to prevent them. So we assume this is until proven otherwise. And the only way for really proof, say no be to do this test, and a specific test. Sorry, sis, I hope I never got out of your question. You asked about how to differentiate between the coronavirus infection and other lung diseases, right?
Yes.
It is similar to other viral diseases that I don't call them. Even influenza, where it still happen. No, don't forget, even as this corona is go on, people still die from influenza. You get the same similar symptoms, shortness of breath, fever, cough, and then sometimes you get muscle aches and pains, you get headache. Sometimes some people they get diarrhea. So those symptoms are quite common. The only thing we can certainly tell, we say the corona 19 or the COVID-19, now that specific test. And this test, as we even know, for one month country, not be so readily available. If we expect say they screen all man with workers so that we know who gets and who not get. First of all, the test are not over be available. So I want to relate this thing back to people back home. What it mean for me from Bazonia? If for one man country, as Sister don't mention, we will not watch in they find their system, they actually be pushed to their limit. They not get enough tests. Then how we go fit do back home? We will not first get the money, we will not get the stability, we will not even get hospital. So who will even do the test? Who to say even if we get them? Even if we get the hospital for Amazonia particularly, how some person will work and go for the hospital where some terrorists being overshooting with gun? So we get a lot of challenges. And a wider way, we base option really that could prevent. Because if it comes to the management, we don't really get that capacity. One, we're there in war, where they impose and they force on you, and two, we don't get those facilities. We're a part of the effect of all this oppressive governance over the years, and particularly the war situation. So now, why that way we message people only begin and say, yes, you can get general informative this thing about which the virus, how this and that. But the point from Bazonian and say, we don't get those facilities. So please, we will want really back to the best treatment that could prevent, may not even happen. Make it not even happen. So I should say water panelists, everybody be quite informed about this. Maybe they get one or two things they will talk on how they advise ground zero, particularly to prevent this. We don't hear a lot about it, but we not get enough of it because really, that's the only way out there.
Right. So before I go ahead, I would like to read a contribution from Fritz Kozo, who says some areas in AMBA land are neglecting the preventive measure calls of the IG. This is to say, let this sensitization continue throughout. Many of the so-called prophets and so on, they have done their falsehood. Okay, thank you for recommending this. It is our duty as every individual to talk to our families and friends back home. That is a serious issue. That said, Dr. Yaya, I'm going to come back to you, but let me switch over to Comrade Walters for now. Comrade Walters, one of the measures of prevention, or one of the most the recommended preventive measures, like you mentioned before, is a social distancing. First, what does that mean? And if we know what it means, I mean, I shared this yesterday or 2 days ago. I watched a video on Facebook where in India, the police actually came and stood at the door and flogging people who were Muslims who were praying in their mosque because they actually went to church. So the social distancing, Comrade Waters, mean that mama and papa them or people cannot at least just go to church and pray.
The issue here na say you know if you actually know with certainty who get that virus. So the best thing I say it be better for avoid for come closer to one another because as most of the physicians they don't talk, you no get an early symptom where as soon as you get them, they just put some mark on you like 666, the mark of the beast where they come sometime. This one being I say you before you want discover even you don't already be another person, you don't already hand them for some other person. So the point here being I say this social distancing I say make people they not come close to one another because many theories they don't come out. They say na just for talk, the air where they come out, they drop from your mouth, feet drop for some other person, and it be enough for contaminate that person. So now one of the reasons that way they say make them go distance from each other. Because some people then they way when they talk, it be very easy for saliva to come out from their mouth. Sometimes they feel sneeze, and that sneeze too feel easily spread them for people because when you sneeze, you also carry some small water they come out. My friend for South Korea, as I been discuss with them, they tell me that I just one man they enter with that disease for South Korea. And what will happen? He be going for church. As soon as he enter for church, where the church people close to about 900 people, just that one man is spread them for that 900. And if one man be spread them for 900, it means say 900 they come out now. You see the impact what that 900 go do. So within 1 hour, you see the consequences where one man don't cause them. So when they say make people then distance themselves, like they make them stay for each or away, so that consequently, naturally, that disease go just die because you not go find place where you not go get place where if you settle for each other. And then you mentioned something here about the clergymen. As you know, in the book of Job, Satan be say people where they believe for Bible, what the Job be do. If you been a man for God, but when it be happen and say, God be tell Satan say, go afflict Job. So Job he be afflicted with kind diseases. How we even know the coronavirus not even been a one of those diseases because they don't mention the disease. They don't say be afflicted with many. But now for tell you say this disease, so if it be something where na some metaphysical issue where man don't know. But then I want understand I'm saying, make this clear to men them when they want explain am, make dem no use them now for language game in order for encourage people for come because they need their offertory. No. Make dem also understand say this so certain things be hidden from human eyes. Where the best thing I say, may they just avoid this kind of issue because we don't hear a lot of people. They don't already prophesy say this so around the I think at the 29th day it will finish for China. That very man when he talk this very talk, if you don't prophesy, say the man will win election America and Hillary. Then at the end Hillary no win. So now how would they believe this kind talk them? Well, we want to encourage people and say, please, make them look at things practically. Think the way they be visible, the way they think really handling that. We're not talking spiritual things, no, we're not talking about that they exist. No, not on our point that. Before church one come, people already pray. And the Bible say when 2 or 3 gather, you go hear their talk. So you don't need for be for group before you know say this so you pray. No. So I think we will continue the story now.
All right, yes. Thank you. Before I go ahead, Comrade Tina says, not be only for church where them fit pray. People fit pray for even for house. That is true. Even nowadays, even before the advent of coronavirus, when Baptist Church has been broadcasting on Facebook of late, you know, so we fit pray, we fit make small groups over and so there are many ways where we pray and so on. People they on the social internet and so on. So the thing that where it did. So this one gives us now the Sister Rachel, it's your turn. A couple of days ago, because I do follow up on coronavirus a lot that I just want to see what's happening where. I stumbled on this one with Deutsche Welle, WD, and DW. This journalist was granting, he was doing, and he was interviewing people in an open market in Nigeria. He asked a couple of people, how do you feel about the coronavirus? Are you scared? Do you think that all of them, they responded, they said, no, at all, fear at all, because we don't combat Ebola. So we have to combat coronavirus. Sister Rachel, is it a good comparison to make? Comparing Ebola and because they braved Ebola, they think they can brave coronavirus. You think so a day?
The thing I say, I like them because we take now Nigeria, where most of the time with the thing, we'll say plenty of people they do where they believe God. They believe in God. Okay. When we are told, or the Bible says by his stripes we are healed. A medical field, or we know say they be whip Jesus 39 times. And medical data don't show say if you classify all the different sickness the way they did for this life, you'll get 39. Sister, Dr. Leah, you'll tell me, you feel talk live, but I know say so a day. You feel get 39 different tables for all the sickness. And for people for thought say we don't overcome Ebola, we know fit fear coronavirus. That one is just an illusion. Now some dream where may feel say black man is too full himself. Black man feel say he too strong with some kind thing than the name holy. If it be not the case, malaria not for the whole black man again. No. Malaria not for the whole black man again. We for already overcome malaria, but up to today we still there with do the malaria. So I beg my brothers and sisters say, make person not try for say he go take this coronavirus lying down, except say you be ready for say this is a live bullet and no care, shoot me for my head. Because yeah, secondly, some people the way that they try for accept say the coronavirus day. They try for gifts on their own measure, say, now so I feel prevent myself, now so I feel present. Some person go even say if you take your breastwear cup, you put and you cover your face. Okay, you don't go. Maybe somebody be infected already. He use the breastwear cup or handkerchief or whatever. He don't breathe throughout the whole day. How he did dispose of that breastwear cup or that handkerchief or how? So even when you did deny say the virus not there, or you know the fear, then you reach the stage where you don't accept and say, okay, I know say the virus there, but I go try my own way for prevent am. You get to still understand how you dey protect yourself, how you dey put on the things them, how you dey cover yourself, how you dey dispose of those things. Because even this was simple handy, so even when we go outside, we go do things, drop am for some place, pick am back, put am inside bag, come for house, we can't reach, we wash hand. But for God say this handy, we not wipe am, we drop am for several places. So I dey beg my brothers and sisters for African continent, may we know say coronavirus na a very serious thing. Black people they don't die. Nigerian wey dey talk. I read one thing, one Nigerian black lady who is a medical doctor died in Germany. So if I I'm sorry, in the UK. So may nobody not think say it be free, regardless of the age or whatever. Everybody is a culprit. Everybody can contact this virus, and the virus is so real, that you see here, people get up, some countries, 8 o'clock, 6 p.m., 6 p.m., they have distributed different times where they come out at least to applaud the medical personnel that are going out there to brace this thing. Africans, black continent, it is a real thing. So let nobody say we overcame Ebola. We can still, we will, God being our helper. But for now that no cure, no vaccine, nothing is yet to support or to help prevent or to fight it, please keep yourself safe. Follow up some of all the measures that have been put out there for prevention. Distancing is one of them, and most important, how to dispose of the things that you use out there. It's very important. Where do you drop it that the next person does not go and pick it? Because it has not also been concluded for how long the virus can stay on a table, on a platform where you go, or how. It has not been. So we should be, everyone should be careful. I know distancing is a luxury Africans cannot afford, but then that doesn't mean that we will be blind to something that is real. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Rachel. That was really brilliant. The two of you. Thank you, Comrade Waters. You spoke about social distancing. Both of you have said a lot of things, but I would like to especially from she is of the medical profession. So, Dr. Yaya, how does the cross-contamination really happen? I know that Sister Richard, some with the Comrade Waters has said some you want to throw more light because like some comrade don't talk to you. I think about the fourth or fifth time when they talk about it, but because the people they never yet still they understand. So you will still for talking over and over. How the cross contamination prevent?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Very important. We want just to pass the message. Say this thing is very, very serious. When you see something disturb white man, so that his hand start make laws, it actually impact their personal freedom. You know, say now something will be really, really serious. And some more forget all that story. They say maybe affect black men, maybe affect young people, maybe do this, do that. Black people they don't die. The DJ way we actually do one of their carnivals for America. He died. He's a black person. So we say one time I say, more not push this thing off. The way the tell we say, this disease is this spread, not through as we call them in English, droplet disease. As I talk, small particles, so spit and saliva and all of that will fly out. So when I talk, they will come by inside this room. Chance they say that saliva will drop on any of the how you call membranes, meaning like lining for your mouth or my nose or my eyes or any of these surfaces. Also, time, with body fluid. Like we still talk a lot of things and still not be very, very certain about it because I knew virus. But regardless, the point I say, all we talk and we be very. I want to take the advice we get or bring them down to Amazonia or with people there for Africa. We didn't live in a closed community when I good thing, but in this situation, now a challenge, especially in the war situation where we get displaced people, where we get 15 or more people inside one house, we get refugees for groups under tents, or things like that. How do they keep apart from each other? So now really a difficult thing. One that we will do, let us do. The one we will do, okay, we no get choice. They could just deny, oh, we don't conquer this. We did not even conquer Ebola. It killed so many people. So I don't know when we talk to we overcome it. This is what we mean. So simple things are like, if you don't get choice, you must be with people inside that room. And some person they were using to get those symptoms there, where as we talk, fever, cough, breathing problems, maybe aches and pains, headaches, and all those kind of things. And the sickness, they actually affect when you get the serious case. You get sick really in a very, very short time. If some person they will get that kind of illness, they will get for try way for isolating. In the sense that other people they get for try for go find some other place to stay there. Or if that way no day, if we're talking about like IDPs, the way they get for for some tent where they don't get no other place to go. They wanna try to at least cover, make those marks. You have to be creative. That's not like for war. Now that's now where people they actually invent things. And so developed countries they grow. When they be there inside cold and all of that, they start thinking, what did we do for overcome this? If mean as one or thing that some close to Rapa or some mami hetai, make up way. So we sister show how if you make your own you show how if you wear mask. But we don't get those facilities in that available. So what I'm going to find some piece of Rapa with how do I call this thing now? Elastic, just like you see do something.
One rubber band.
Exactly, rubber band. The person where he get those symptoms, I beg. If we know there, you throw your picking for outside so because you want to do social distancing. But do your best for minimize that spread. Find that one and some clean handkerchief, put that rubber band there, put on for your head, cover yourself most of the time, and make sure you wash them when get one or two, you wash them when you need to use the other one. Then the rest of the people, simple hygiene things like washing our hands with soap, or if you don't get soap, wash them with salt. Say salt water will always be a traditional antiseptic. We don't use it over time. We have to go back to those basic things in the absence of the things that where they will actually help with. And then avoid beating people with the hands, hugging. We know so we'll get all these places the way, according to culture, we always like to be together. They were really there for limit and for this time until that phase for that virus, because it divide or it spread very, very fast. So if you see white man actually forcefully, because you get people that here, they don't already start complaining, they don't take away their freedom. But the government impose make people they don't go out of the house. Maybe they know unless they really have to, like to go for work, or they need to go for hospital, or they need to go for shop. Now because they know say this thing is really spread very fast and it kills. And even the Western world don't get the capacity to meet up for how to manage this. There are hospitals because in serious cases they get to be handled for inside what you call intensive care. We from Amazonia, we don't even get the hospitals that they function. If we get hospitals, we don't even have doctors. If we get hospitals, we don't even have intensive care. Even if you get the intensive care, maybe for some posh place or Bahusa or somewhere to Douala, you don't even know whether you'll be killed before you go reach for it. So Don't even think about that. Now, why the president even say at the end of the day, we still need prayers for this whole thing. But above all, we need to be responsible and we need to really take them seriously. Because they will bring that statement for say this. So if you don't get help, you know if you fight. Meaning say, no, not take this thing for granted. Just say, this one I think, my white man they are think, my old people they are think. Before you want to know the whole population, don't die. The republic will stop. You will say, oh, don't let me bring the COVID-19 to try and get rid of this Amazonian. So we just beg. We not say we don't talk over and over. Do the simple things we wanna feed do. So one day they wanna no feed do, but they wanna try to be creative, and eat healthy. Now the other one that just struggle, do your best. Sometimes the sick go the virus will attack some people. Some they go sick, some they go just get a mild symptoms. All this one depend on how aggressive the virus will be and how strong your immune system be. When a wider way will talk to all people will be more at risk. So let's just try our best. And if the natural things all get around we, anything we know say if it boost will help, like the ginger, garlic, bitter leaf, healthy vegetables. When we talk this thing that not cure, and they just talk saying nothing for support to help with immune system in the absence of a treatment. Thank you, sis. When you start laughing, so I'm not say our time will stop.
Now,
Go ahead.
now, see, then at the demonstration symptom for coronavirus, now I just cough the right way. I cough my way, I not cough it. Okay, I was coughing, so I cough correctly. Now I feel like I'm yeah. So, thank you so much, Dr. Yaya, for that presentation. The only thing we can do is like Comrade Luther just said, is we should stop blaming Black people concerning the corona. We just need to educate our people on how they can help themselves to stay safe. Yes, of course. There are no two ways of doing. We can only speak, we can only educate them by talking to them. So we will not stop talking. We'll come here and say this over and over and over until it reaches and sits well inside every Amazonian, because you are so dear to us, just like we are to you. So we want to reach home alive, healthy, and safe. So that said, I know that we have been giving you time, but there's one thing we still need to touch. You can only fight the greater corona, the senior coronavirus, which is polio, when you are healthy. So what advice, please, Comrade Walters, do you want to give to our Ambazonia restoration forces concerning social distancing and preventive measures? We just want to at least address them, because now we powerhouse that. No joke about it.
Actually, I want to put it this way. When this war was declared on us, they thought it was going to be a peripheral matter, and they thought that the war would not last for even 3 months. We are going now to close to 4 years. And the most sensitive part about it is that during this transition, we were using just what we call den guns. Now we are talking that with people who have real guns. The advice we are going to tell them is simple and clear. After trying to demolish our forces and they have not succeeded, another evil has come, that these people without soul may do everything possible how they can carry that virus to our land. And that is one of the things His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sako Ekome, the president of the former British Southern Cameroon, known as Ambazonian today, emphasized on that point, that we should be aware, we should be alert, we should be one keeper, which therefore means that something that is wrong to you is wrong to me. One for all and all for one. Our restoration forces should be more sensitive than ever before, because they will do everything possible to see how they can bring this virus intentionally to come and spread it as another means to weaken our restoration forces. And it also supports the point that a man who is healthy can speak better than a man who is not healthy. A man who is healthy can fight better than a man who is not healthy. So consequently, we are coming as an apostle of this very special information dissemination, that we are sending it out as panelists today, and we expected that all of them who are listening to us to act as multipliers of this message, which means that as my father sent me, so I sent you. As we send this information, please, as you get it, help to disseminate the information in different languages. Because even the pidgin what we're talking for here, grandma is still there for some place where he need to receive this information. So you, when you're there around that area, please take advantage, send this information for the interior right to the last area for countryside. And after you see, we for this I call and say country route, where it means that we go back for the grassroots to everybody for all the nooks and crannies. Now, why do you see they call this program County Route? One reach to all the people, right down for those routes, so like many digest all way to what they get them for here for tell them. So now we do this, when we get some precious information, we will come for this country route, send them for them, and then we're gonna go ask as multiplier. So as president make that speech, now you don't take and come here with the broken now, so now to help we now take and distribute them until it go reach for the last person.
Okay, I think this one is still be important before we finally open the lines. Dr. Yaya, is there existing treatment for this? And moreover, news don't go on some particular medicine in them, like ibuprofen, like they help for cure this disease. Not true. And if it be true, it means when man just get cough and kata and so on, me take this medicine, drink and so on. What just tell us a bit about the treatment before we open the lines for calls.
Yes, very important question, my dear sister. We wish so we get a definitive treatment, but you know all those things, discussion, hypothesis, thoughts. They will never really get any solid studies that already say these things then will possibly work. So many people don't get panic or rush go to buy some medicines, say this one will help, or for stop someone they say cause the spread of the virus, because you get some other medications the way a normal medication where people that use for high blood pressure, for heart, for weak heart, or what you call heart failure. So please, but interestingly, since the outbreak for Wuhan, they do even do a very short study on medications that they use for cure HIV and Ebola. They don't really get any conclusive report or result say this medication that actually help for reduce the way the speed or the replication of this virus. So we will not get no treatment. That is the truth. But all those things, and I think they still need to be studied. Maybe in the next few months or years, people will do some real studies the way they pick compare, and then they will say, okay, yes, it actually work or not. But as of now, no. So we be left. I mean, even the modern world, the Western world, be left with the challenge to the only way to stop for deal with this is to one stop the prevention. Now, why do you see they don't forcefully get people to stay in home, for stay at home? If you watch all channels all over the world in the Western world, you see them with the hashtag stay at home. That a kind of community responsibility that we need to develop. This thing not be some it catch all man from prince to president to whoever, and then it may choose face, and that's why it catch black people and it catch them. So more no say we get my responsibility will talk for my sister, my brother, now your responsibility will talk for your friend and sister, and just like that, we need to keep on teaching ourselves till nobody ever you know everybody be free from this, because we'll not get cured. So yeah, I think prevention again, not just the alpha and the omega, the basic hand hygiene, you know, the you know protective gear like mouthpieces if you get them. If not, you create your own, and then avoid those groupings. You know, now things like Jangi, Bonhouse churches, party, those are not. You know, stay
Yes.
away. You know, do just the minimum where you really get produced. That's what it takes, and we just have to do these things. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so
I
much,
would
Dr. Yang, for
like to say
throwing
something.
more light into this. Yeah, I'll surely give you time, Sister Rachel, but there's something you want to just comment on before we finally open the lines. This is, guys, we want to be patient because we need to talk with Dr. Yaya. I'm saying this, I'm not afraid to say it because you are here, because you will correct it right away. So Mama and Papa there, and also doctor say chloroquine there. If you go for medicine store, you'll surely buy chloroquine and so on. But I don't think say doctor never yet talk say you get coronavirus. If it be say chloroquine in the work. And secondly, if it be say it work
Right.
and it be say you get coronavirus, that doctor talk how much you go take. I just want get kata, I get katana for almost a week. They take medication, they take anything. NHS for here, the medical the system here, they don't only put information on you. I say when you feel so, do so. If you feel so, do so. Until you feel so before you ever want to come for hospital. Let me say, if we listen to all this advice, we will bring these people can shit for every day talk them. We will combat them. First, when we translate where the message, the information where my patients will make and last week for our country to talk. If we talk something where it will make a lot of sense. Say for every normal, not call it normal situation, some of these kind of diseases they always originate from Africa. Then they before they come this side, and so they would either suffer with them, but they die, and they so they can remain the remaining people they will remain, or they try for help in one way or the other. But it talks the good news that say it don't start now from this book side. So no matter how resistant and how strong head this be, even day and night until they get treatment. So your own part, therefore respect what they don't to say make you not but make you do one. Why would you at some point something will touch deep down inside their bone? They not go sleep till they get something for manage this thing with. So try for really follow this advice there. Now the only thing that will make you stay alive, like doctor don't talk. So yeah. So Sister Rachel, I know you wanted to say something, but so one thing there, where inside the president speech is ahead. They go block they go stop movement for transportation and so on between our various towns and cities there. So Jamaica Amazonia could manage this coronavirus. So how what do you think of this and how you want make people then prepare for this? Because in a few days to come, we will surely announce them, say lockdown will be for some length of time in order for contain this bad virus where they worry people their lives.
Okay, yes. If we even see ourselves looking at it critically, we already know, say, in the Western world, that they have already taken those measures. So, no be some new thing. You know, we would not always believe, say, wait to a while man talk, now the final thing. And if we look at critically, now so the thing still there until we self get to start taking measures, our own measures into our hands. So by so doing, if in this speech, the president talks say he go stop people, they mean they know they go from one town, one village to the other. Now because the president gets people them for heart. Because this Amazonia way with the fight and so it cannot come where people they know they did. So me some person know she don't think say president talk so maybe not because he want just say now he control people then. No. Now because say if you self you think and for yourself, you go know say now correcting So that means the signal come up for one village, go for the other village. And if you know, say you get your bag cocoa for that village, go there quickly, go take them. If you know, say where you figure your bag salt, where you go keep them for house with the all thing, you go there, go take and can't keep them. Because you go need, say, may you stay at home. Because when they don't tell you, say, no go for this other town, not go for this village, it mean na say, may you stay now only for that place so you don't be there. So that may you not go take something will not be your own. May you not go make that the thing not hold you. So all we get to be very careful. And before the question, the two of one talk now say, I just still cry for the our brother and our sisters then where they there for prison. Because that I asked them, say, I can't go for ABC and I will surely go talk about una. But una want me I talk. They tell me, say, may I try. May every ambassador will know how to write letter. May I try write for all this international house them. Beg them. May they try remember them, say they for prison. They not get space. Space na rich man thing for inside prison, they for places and they stay. At this point in time, they don't even forget, say that the chop now only one time for one day. They don't forget this one. And when they hear, say this coronavirus, they kill people, so even for one man country, and they hear, say Iran, as we mentioned for this speech, say Iran, where all the whole world know, say, now the most stubborn country, that way, even if you talk something, they not go hear. But Iran, they don't move their own prisoner. They say, no, na better go, no, na life safe. No, first save una first. And then the other day, Colombia too. Colombia, prisoners themselves, they strike inside prison. So that made their government take some measures for reduce them. And I know say, if not because of what will be happen for the 21st of June last year, because our brothers they come out, they can't strike for condemn the central prison for say make La République, make French Cameroon move them for things where they don't know why they go detain them for a year where they are fighting a just war. Not even fighting, defending themselves from a war that was declared upon them by the president of French Cameroon. They went on strike, and the repercussion is a very sad one. Most of them, they transferred them for far prison them. Till today, we don't know where they did. Secondly, the one that say, well, you even know where they did, you cannot even reach them. You get to do up and down before you go feel reach them. And then, thirdly, most of them, they still go court till tomorrow. Why? Because they say that they go judge them. And on top of the arrest rate, they don't keep them for prison for almost 4 years, some 4 years, some 3 years, some 2.5 years. Some are still coming in. That they go judge them for Ekunu court, for example, for Yaoundé. That they give them for 4 years, 5 years, until the years the way they don't give them. And also, if not be because of these measures, talk less of the one that for Boya prison, then too that they go prison, Boya prison judgment every day, and also that they increase, that they sentence them years of imprisonment, 7 years, 8 years, added to the years where they don't already stay for prison without judgment. And the reason where they even catch them before, they have not even judged them for the reason they catch them, they arrested them before. They've judged them for another thing, and then they are even there just awaiting incessantly. So if not for that one, if not for that, I know our brothers would have come out and shouted it themselves that please, coronavirus is real, coronavirus is here. The nature in which we are living here, we are just so susceptible to it that we could, if it lands in there, it is not what you and I will be saying today. So that is why I am joining my voice shouting my voice out here on behalf of more than 3,000 detained Southern Cameroonians and Ambazonians in the dungeons, because either you are a suspect, just because you are just that Ambazonian, a grown-up man, a young man who was out there, you were arrested and locked in there. If not, they would have been crying that, please save us from this coronavirus. But they can't, because the last time they did it, some of them are missing. The last time they did it, some of them are taking 7, 8+ years of sentences in the Kunu court and in Boya courthouse. So please, free Ambazonians that are out here in the diaspora or everywhere. It is our responsibility to shout. If we are defending this flag, we are defending it because we need people to be there to lift the flag. And it is our responsibility to help those that are also in the prisons, to talk it out for them. Please, we are begging each and everyone to stand up and defend the flag. If not for anything, every life matters.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sis. Thank you for appealing to the conscience of our people again. Well, what else can we do apart from talking to our people? Someone needs to do something. They are doing their part by dying out there for us. Let's do our part by paying with it, with money. You know, it takes a team to bring down the elephant in a tree, and we can do it. So lines are open, so people can call to either ask a question. You can call if you have a question, have a contribution, or argument. You are all welcome. You say what is your own opinion? How do you advise Amazonians to prepare for the forthcoming lockdown in order to contain the COVID-19? Because while we are waiting for calls, I will just that once again, it is not a joke. It is really serious. In Germany, if I'm making a mistake, please correct me. That the German government actually, if you move carelessly on the streets you don't have a reason to be out, you risk paying up to 25,000 euros. Am I right?
There are certainly fines. I don't know whether it's specifically that amount, but there are fines for people breaking the laws. And you have that even in Italy. I think you risk being in prison for 12 years or 15 years. I mean, it's not about the specifics. The message here is these governments have realized the damage that this pandemic, so to say, is going to cause on the economy. The economies are crashing down. Think about it. Flights companies, some have gone out of business. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, there's a
you
call.
Are going to continue again. Hello, County Roots. Hello. Oh, I think we lost him. All right. Yeah, you just carry on. So,
yes.
To you, dear, if somebody calls and asks a question, yes, just take note. Then after when we close the calls, then you can either comment or answer to a few questions before we shut. Thank you. So, Dr. Yeah, you can talk since the person has just we've lost you.
If you see, we therefore society the way that you respect people, their personal freedom a lot. It don't reach stage where all government they don't take a decision even against some people they don't like and young people they don't want for the state for how. But the government they be forced for them because they know say the disaster way go await them if they don't do this. If people fall sick, they're not going to cope with them. Already the business economy is running down, and then what if people then die? Now there will be the workforce, So they therefore do these things. They don't implement these very harsh laws and because they know the benefit for the society in years to come. So if we already see this, we don't need to wait. We don't die finish. We'll first get very limited resources. And why don't we see how President Sarkozy actually at least some things and where he think of doing, or we as a government would think of doing in the coming days. So we all therefore be prepared for go through some even harder times. Thank God say we'd already be used to for this lockdown and this and that, but more be even prepared for things like public transport. We'll therefore stop them, because when you're inside that overcrowded motor, then you man cough, that one they talk. That's how we spread it, you know. So we just got to tighten our belts. Just hope say when this phase, because somewhere there are scientists them or statisticians that explain how this virus it is spread at an exponential rate. Now why they do today they say one person don't die for you, the next morning yes now 100, the next 2 days yes now 2,000. So that curve get that very sharp rise. So what the whole world they try to do now for flatten that curve may not go too this thing too sharp, too quick. And why that way they forcefully isolate people. So to the point where they will be imprison people. So when we think we president even he just proposed, so we say no, get prepared, things like this will happen in the nearest future, and they'll be close borders. Every country now don't close borders. America may accept flights from certain countries except Britain, and you get a lot of flights that they don't be blocked from flying in and out of this country. So why would not do that for Amazonia? We need to be protected. So we all man package like the sister don't gather your corn, your beans, thin away, they not go spoil. Keep them for close for corner you, so that when we get this lockdown and blocking the movement from one county to another, you will get something to chop. So this whole thing will prevent that spread of the disease, because even as we know for white man country, treatment no do. So the best treatment is prevention. One other thing where President Sako really bring up now about waiting interim government, how he plan for address this situation. Some people they will say no, interim government take time for talk and this and this. The idea not before rush for talk, but for gather information and the right information. You know, gather the facts, listen to the specialists, and then you know so you tell your people something where you feel I mean be reliable. So they will make a task force, meaning from particular group of people where they put their heads together for things like how we do about this, how this thing really affect the people. And that group will be headed by Sister Rachel, the department with an HSS, with their president, Dr. Tita, and a group of other strategists. They did a very good job for come do their research, and then they say, okay, this thing affect me and the things I just so therefore do. In the future, president also announced another task force where equal and say I think say the name like Abitok. It means the Amazonian
Amazonia
be the keeper,
be the other skipper. Now be the other skipper.
Be the other skipper, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, Amazonia be the other skipper. Some Abitok. Yeah. So the now vice president, when a doctor himself for Italy, we really pray for him. This thing not come close to you by any means. Yes. So now I go ahead that team and would get weekly updates. So when a government think and we just pray say no, try to follow this advice and we would hear from different people on a weekly basis. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Sister Comfort, I would like to emphasize also on something. Yes. Yes, one another thing that has just struck me, or that I just flipped over and I remember that we are defending coronavirus together and looking for a way forward how we can prevent it from one another, which is a very good thing that I see that every Amazonia is on board. We are all doing it. And I think it is the same with that same spirit that in this president's speech, he did not also left out the fact that in as much as we are fighting for this, we are in unity, looking for ways, fighting coronavirus together. The other virus that we have, we should together as every group, as every Amazonia come together. That was where he emphasized that there is unity. There should be collaboration. Everybody should come on board and come and let's collaborate.
Sister Rachel, you
and agree.
Just being counting hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Comfort.
Good evening, live from County Roads.
I've been glad for contributing for say, we not take this virus to remain for the kind and then all our cities.
Oh.
Coronavirus will leave a lot of people in the kind and then our city. So we will try to see how we defend coronavirus, we defend our city.
Okay, so you mean I say what exactly? Say maybe we not do shutdown, or we do one.
I guess I don't know.
Keep shut down because if we keep shut down, everybody will lock itself out. The bank for one land. Because then the fight for our town and
buildings. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, comrade. Thank you for calling. Yes. All right, thanks. Yeah, I think Dr. Yaya, you are itchy to compliment him.
Sorry, I know. Wait for protocol. Yes, I think if I understand the caller, maybe if I know, I think so. Waiting the travel Thomas, the mono over focus on the coronavirus, then forget the enemy can take we unawares. Very good point. I think like President start for his speech, so we already get the corona existing. You know, maybe this one, you don't underestimate the seriousness of the COVID-19 it be. But wait till Tonga say maybe we can contain this one. The worst one are the other coronavirus when Nabia
yeah, that was what the president said. That was where I was going.
Terrorist soldiers where they kill Pekin. Don't struggle to get them to some reasonable talk. So I get that point with the President mentioned something about the Amazonian war draft. So it is very, very important. In as much as we educate the prevention and all of that be important, it means we get to come down to actually funding our Amazonian restoration forces on the ground so that they can stand this double attack. Because the attack, we're even considering triple because the coronavirus did it on its own. They are still taking advantage of the position of weakness, and if he actually smash on with so President actually bring this Amazonian War Draft project where now a one-on-one, I think it's really coming.
Yes. Okay, yeah. All right. County Roads, hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, you're welcome to County Roads.
Thank you. I'm calling from Germany. I have some parts for the women. I have distribute them.
Okay. If you report that issue.
Yes.
Please call issue.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. God bless you. Yeah. Okay, Dr.
Wow,
please, because sister the point.
Okay, yes. So that war draft, the Amazonian war draft, every family be expected. Every family will get person where they work today. Well, I should say all we will get them. You know, they be expected to provide one AK for one of our soldiers, meaning pretty much adopting a soldier. Because these guys, they don't sacrifice their lives. They are there without their wives, they are this and that, fighting for us. And if we know equip them for being able to for resist the aggressor, what do we expect? They're gonna go begin to do funny things then. We don't want that to happen. We condemn the kidnappings, we condemn all those taking for ransoms and all of that. But they are also humans. They get basic needs from food to clothing, even the prevention when you talk for the corona. How if you tell some person where you no get water for drink food, or no go church up. So in all this, the war draft, Amazonian war draft, this in every family provide an AK through your county for our boys or our restoration forces called the ARF, Amazonian Restoration Forces, the ground. And this contribution, it is not only going to the interim government, as people then they feel sometimes people feel say, oh no, President talking very clearly. Any group where you actually get forces on the ground where they therefore resist the oppression, the aggression from La Republic, this funding, it will be shared amongst all of us. And the only way for fee ensure say this thing where first I talk to it actually be doable. The way if you only check now when you go through your county, because I know if you really should done for boy, I know it will happen for Maninguba. But if I be active within my county, I will not say, oh, that's for money families and from diaspora or wherever they contribute. They share this thing equally for all the forces that they actually work for the restoration. So it boils down to me contributing as a solution to all of these problems. Yeah.
Okay, County Road, hello. Good evening.
God bless you now. I don't follow all people that do. God bless you now. Plenty.
Oh dear.
I can't talk now. Say virus. This for where people not setting. Then for people always get that. It make me understand. Say anything hot, anything bitter, it will help for preventer. So I get what message where it promotes the from lime and bicarbonate inside hot water. If people drink every evening, like tea, help everything bitter like tea, help fight and the thing the food. So our people take often it will help and a person when you don't even get they cover you with this our complete protection. They boil and cover you inside the heat. Where we go bring inside, you know, all that thing go help. So some a person will not get if they even drink hot water every day. So that the bring this with their nose. If you also killer. Even aloe vera type hot water, we also help. Let's share them so that since today for our place, we know what to wait today. If person help, if we help around. So that if they are before you want cancer to enter you, you don't really flush her up with that thing. Make God plan.
Who's are you to call from, please? Okay, but I see the number. I never see this kind of number before. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you for your contribution and for calling Roots. We'll be happy to say you to follow up and you'll be able to. God bless you. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I don't. Did you hear? Did we all listen to her? Yeah. She talked about taking. Okay, Dr. Yaya, if you just round up the comments on this caller just said, I'm closing the course now. I'll give Dr. Yaya, I'll give you 2 minutes each. Let's just round up. So you may comment on what the last speaker just said, and then any other thing you had to do, round up and a word to somebody. 2 minutes each,
if I understand well, the last speaker talked about natural methods to helping to fight this virus. I mean, in the absence of having any treatment, I think we just get for grab onto anything way from history, from we upgrowing and from common sense. It help. A lot of even as we live for white man country, we take supplements. Either one they will buy them or one they will grow them. We need to use with common sense. When we grow up, we being mommy them. They be used to live to the 100 years. Some of we maybe want to go young. And how did they get to that age? Now, because they believe on natural and healthy stuff. So this also tells us we need to go back to basics. We need to go back to the roots. And yes, in the absence of having a specific treatment, we'll not get them now. Anything where if it help for boost will help. We therefore do that. Meaning eating healthy, eating your vegetables, the things the way God on nature don't put them around you. Whether a lemon, ginger, garlic, doing regular exercise, sleeping well, regular exercise. Yeah, when you sleep, without being in a group. I think so would need to promote those things because now always we call for homeopathic medicine. it actually be complementary to the modern white man medicine. So yes, do those things. Make your fever grass. Those things we used to use them for cure malaria and the things in the days where you'll sit your bring amigo, put your head under, put cook leaves them and so on. If you know that those things are working, try them. Why not? Yeah. Moringa. I don't know if
No,
anybody know about moringa. Advocate of moringa. So
okay. Yeah. Yeah, just
Yeah,
sorry, just
moringa.
for add one thing. Like last week I said I was really, really, really feeling bad. I know we get all and boiling bring on fever grass and so on. You just enter for your kitchen. You get a lot of stuff. So for myself, say anything I get, I'm going to keep myself. I take lemon of we always get lemon. I take time now one of these spices inside water to put all I put lemon, I put garlic and so on, boil them. And then I take the juice, the broth with more out of that leaves them. I drink them. I've been drinking, yes, I've been drinking that for the whole week. I would not make even 15 the little ones when you don't do it, they ask it, they don't know, they never get at least a glass of lemon today. It does hit water. So if you can always improvise any natural support for your kitchen, it will help do the thing. Yeah. Thank you. So Sister Rachel, over to you. You have to.
Yeah, my 2 minutes are that. Let me just use them this way. It's a very good thing that, first of all, very pleased and happy that the people are aware. And secondly, we haven't forgotten our culture. You know, those things, those grassroots medication, when they used to say, you take the lemon leaf, you mix it with guava leaf, you mix it with okomobong, you mix it with pawpaw leaf, and you drink, you mix
I mean,
it. So people used to yeah, and then whatever thing they used to use all those meals, and then you see people are strong is something that I'm very happy to hear because since the mentioning of chloroquine came, you know, I got a report that, for example, in Nigeria, hospitals people came there for overdose usage of chloroquine or whatsoever, which is something that can be detrimental to the system. But something like aloe vera, those are natural things, lemon, the skin, the orange skin, the lemon skin, and hot water, and all those things. We all know that is good. I'm happy, dear sisters and dear viewers, please, if those are the things that we have and we should use them. We don't know when it may come, but if we can have them continuously, make it a lifestyle, then it's going to go a long way. And secondly, I just wanted to conclude that the president also showed solidarity with the country, China and Italy. That is to show that the Amazonian people are not only people that think of themselves, they think of others when they are in pains. Like Italy has lost thousands of people, China the same thing, and Spain is coming on. And our president was able to make mention to show our solidarity, which is something that is in us. We don't only cry out that there is war, people should come and help us. We equally remember people who are in pain. And another thing that he said, please, brothers and sisters, CID is your country roots. It is where this program, country roots, where you come from. Your CID. Now for there you go pay that money. Now for there you go buy your operation one by one with the back. Make una try go get am for your, if you comot for Bakassi country, you comot for Mbo country, you comot for Bakwe country, you comot for Bameta country, you comot for Ngi country, you comot for Ndonga Mantu country, you comot for Nwa, you comot for all those things that I know the name them all. If you comot for
no,
all
I'm
those
just
places, go there, go get am for that your country, man wey you know it. You comot for Akwaya, you comot for Eshobi, you comot for Oimojok, you comot for Ndekwa, you comot for Bachuo, you comot for Smallmanfe, all those places. You comot for Bokwai, for Bonakanda. Go there now for there you
wow.
go give the thing
All right.
so that
I'm jealous.
so that those picking the way that they brace this war, they go feed face am. They will take the thing, do am for you. Not be for me where I dey here. And the money where you dey get, and to not forget that one the way they dey for prison at the back una. No, mommy no dey oh. Papa, no, that one, they not get on. There's nobody there for them. You and I are their mothers now. Please, Cash App, Hope Relief Foundation. For people that were there for America. PayPal, please, Hope Relief Foundation at gmail.com. May una help HSS. May if you reach out to these people, especially for this most difficult time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Yaya. I don't know, Frederick Waters, we just lost him. So that said, I want to.
He got frozen,
Sorry?
Unfortunately, yeah.
All right, yeah. So I just want to use the opportunity to. You need some time, Dr. Yaya?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, is this the conclusion now?
Yeah. No, so that
okay.
You were something. All right. You were not saying anything, right? I have the. Okay, I thought you were saying something. I was listening. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you, dear televiewers, fellow Amazonians. We are at war. We can only talk to ourselves, remind one another. I am just appealing, and we want to learn to accommodate ourselves as much as we can, because we really, really stretched enough. We are so stretched that we cannot afford to another again. Then that sweet talk to one another, embrace one another, and think it will really do a great difference to us. Please remember the Jews, remember the IDP, remember the prisoners of conscience, thousands of them. Some are out there. I want to tell you a story. There's one of us that we actually died. I'm sure that when he died, when he resurfaced, I spoke to him and realized, thank God my husband was crying and really shivering. You know, I was crying when I listened to him. My husband had to talk because he has been going through a lot and he is now incapacitated. He used to be a young person walking on two and doing everything for himself. He is suffering in one of these facilities out there. He can't stand on his own anymore, you know, because he has been reduced to a cripple. That is how, sorry that I'm using this kind of a word, but I'm just making it to you to understand how bad it is. Please pay your money. Just do the right thing. You believe me, if us commit and faith contribute to see, you will not need to give any other extra contribution anywhere. Because if you contribute, you sign up and contribute faithfully, HSS will be sorted. The Amazonia Restoration Forces will be sorted. And then be able to execute our diplomatic offensives or whatever they call it. Believe some videos where I just need to say it, because if you don't know when to be, you don't know that you really need to give that money you are keeping. I watched a video where one of our fighters, he had to take a leave off his fighting job to defend one, to go pitch a tent at the heart somewhere in the jungles, such that his family can have refuge. It means he himself is living in the jungle wherever he's living, and his wife and children are also out there. You know, I don't know what will happen when he leaves them and goes and they shoot him down, dies, they're there. What are they feeding on? And so on. We also know this little girl's husband is a restoration force. A baby died in her womb and she stayed with it for almost a week before we got this money to get her operated upon. You know, we don't know how many of them are going through this. We are joking and know what our people are going through. We have to do. And even if somebody is here to testify because they have seen or they're talking to these people every day, you take it for a joke. Believe us, your has gone somewhere, we need to go fetch it so that it gets you to work. It doesn't need to be millions. So if you are rich and blessed enough that you can give us millions, we really do appreciate. But if you can't, sign up $10, commit to these $10, and then encourage another brother or sister to sign up and commit to their own $10. If you get 10 people, we would have raised $100 in a month. Please let us contribute, fund solution, get out of mess and get